Hey everyone, just waiting for a few more people to join us. So once we've got a few more people in the room, then we can get started. Hi everyone, thanks for joining us. Just waiting for a few more people to join the webinar, and as soon as we've got some more people here, we'll get the webinar started. Thanks. All right, everyone. I think we might start to get stuck into it. So thanks everyone for joining us today, and especially on such short notice. So we figured that it was a good time, given the recent release of the YellowScan Mapper Plus, to have a bit of a show and tell. So thanks all for taking the time out of your day to join us. I guess on the webinar today, you've got myself. Here I'm the chief remote pilot at Sphere Drones. So I've been here for about 5 years, and it's been really exciting and a really exciting time to be in the drone space. And recently we've been working with YellowScan, and we're really excited about the product. So we've also got Teresa Hong from YellowScan. She's the business development manager for APAC, and Pierre has very kindly gotten up early from over in Europe to join us to answer any of your more nitty-gritty technical questions. So thanks very much to the YellowScan team for joining us today. I guess before we get stuck into the YellowScan side of things, I thought it'd be worth touching on Sphere Drones. For those of you who haven't come across us before, we like to position ourselves as essentially being a drone partner for anyone in this sort of space. So everything from sales right the way through to enterprise agreements, you know, the drone space is quite comprehensive, and you know, we like to partner ourselves with the best and really be that conduit for you and your drone program. So if there's anything that we can do to help, please feel free to get in touch. I guess just a couple of things on housekeeping. So if there is anything that you wanted to ask during the webinar, please feel free to submit your questions during the webinar, and we will of course have that Q&A session at the end. So feel free to send those questions through the text question and answer box. And then just ripping the band-aid off here as well, we aren't going to discuss pricing during the webinar, but if you do have any specific questions around that, let us know, and we'll more than happily have those conversations with you off the back of the webinar. I guess one last thing on Sphere, I guess over the last little while, we've recently brought in some new team members who are, which essentially have expanded our reach. So we're now able to, you know, have boots on the ground in Queensland, Victoria, Sydney, of course, and Perth. So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to pass over to the YellowScan team. So essentially, we're going to have a 20-minute run through of the products, and then some time for Q&A at the end. And if anyone wants to stick around for a few minutes at the end after the Q&A, then we can of course extend that a little bit. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Teresa. So bear with me for 1 second. All right, Teresa, over to you. All right, so Teresa's just, looks like Teresa's just getting sorted at the moment, so bear with us for a moment. Sorry, guys, we've accidentally muted Teresa. Give me 1 second. I'll make sure that she can actually talk. Give me 1 second. There we go. Teresa, can you hear us now?
Yeah,
I
can.
Perfect.
Yep.
So sorry about that.
That's okay.
All right. So everyone meet Teresa.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, sorry about that. Just a small technical problems.
Can't get good out of the way.
All right. So before we get started, yeah, just this is Teresa here, and thanks so much everyone for attending. And yeah, so before I go into deep dive into the Mapper and the Mapper Plus product presentation, I would like to introduce you our YellowScan, our mission. So YellowScan's mission is to provide the most integrated and easy to use UAV LiDAR solutions for survey and mapping applications. And just give you just an overview of our offices globally. We have our headquarters is based in Montpellier, south of France. And my colleague Pierre, he is based in France, in Montpellier, and which he will be able to answer any of your highly technical questions later on. And for myself, I'm here based in Melbourne, Australia. And we have office in the US, Salt Lake City, and also in Germany, as well as in Tokyo, Japan. So this is just an overview for your information of where our offices are internationally. So with the overview of today's webinar, we have with the YellowScan Mapper and the Mapper Plus is our entry product. So we're integrating with the Revox scanners, and the Mapper we released last year. It's integrated with the Horizon scanner, and the Mapper Plus, which is the product we just announced and launched last week at the Intergeo, which integrated with the Avia scanner. And with these two products, we provide very low price tag on these two products. So it generates a market disruption. And with the both Mapper and the Mapper Plus have integrated with camera modules. And based on that, we also decide to be compatible with all DJI UAV drones. Whether if you have an M200, M210, M300, or M600, it's all fully supported. So meaning to say that you have multiple mounting options. If you have the M300, you may choose to use the M300 Skyport. Yeah. So but some of our clients would like to use the mounting bracket. So we have this off-the-shelf M300 mounting bracket that you can use. And if you have the M600, having said that, if you have the M210 and M200 and the M210, it also comes with the Skyport, and you may use that as well. You can mount either the Mapper or the Mapper Plus on this all these drones with the Skyport. And with the M600, which doesn't come with the Skyport, we do have the M600 mounting bracket come with it, and you may use that. So it's very easily off-the-shelf solution for you to have quick mount your any of the like YellowScan product, especially like for this Mapper and the Mapper Plus. And with the GrimSea connections, let's say if you have any UAV drones, it's not DJI brand, and it has GrimSea connections, it also supports as well for the Mapper and the Mapper Plus. So you can just easily, connect your Mapper or the Mapper Plus onto your UAV drones. There are not restrictions at all. With that, here's the photo of the Mapper Plus, just to give you an idea of how the Mapper Plus looks like. Inside the Mapper Plus, we are using the Aplanix APX59MU and the Livox AVR scanner. And it weighs 1.3 kilogram, include the battery. So if you take out the battery, it's only 1.1 kilogram. And again, it comes with the Skyport, GrimSea, or the quick mount. So it's at your own choice. You may choose whichever mount you would like to use. Yeah, but certainly it depending on your UAV model, which one you have. With that, the here is an overview of the Mapper Plus and the Mapper, where it's sitting within our YellowScan product portfolio. So with the precision versus range, you will see that the Surveyor, which is the Valadan scanner, VLP16 is at the lower range, and the Mapper is a higher, much better than the Surveyor, and then followed by the Mapper Plus is in line with a couple of our VX series product, as well as the Surveyor Ultra. Yeah, and then at the moment, currently our higher grade top end range is the Explorer, which is built by YellowScan. With that, I just want to cover a bit more on the field view and the detection range. So you may see that on the Mapper Plus with the AVR LiDAR scanner, the left and right field view, forward and backward field view, you can detect up to 320 meters detection range, non-repetitive and repetitive pattern at 80% reflectivity, and at 10% reflectivity is at 190 meters. So with the Mapper Plus is using the horizon. The horizontal field view is 81.7 degrees. Vertical field view is 25.1 degrees. Yep. So, and again, you can see the reflectivity at 80% is 260 meters. And the 20% reflectivity is 130 meters. Having said that, the detection range varies upon the position of the object in the field view. So the closer to the edge of the field view, you will get the shorter the detection range. Yeah. So with the Mapper Plus, we recommend to fly at 100 meters AGL, and the Mapper is at 70 meters AGL. And here is just give you briefly give you an idea of the difference between the accuracy and precision. So you may see that For the accuracy, is what it means is how close to the truth are the points. And the precision basically is a repeatability, like noise. So you can see the house diagram that we YellowScan have drawn up here. You will see if you get a good accuracy, a poor precision, the points are pretty good attached to the surface of the object you want, or the house here. But it's a bit quite noisy, right? And if you have a good accuracy and good precision, you can see all the points are very nicely, neatly laying on top of the surface, right? Top of the house. For the poor accuracy and poor precision, I'm sure this is not the type of data that you would like to see, right? It's basically it's unusable. So you get a pretty poor point cloud data. With a good precision, poor accuracy, again, this may not be the data that you want to, because it's not positionally correct, like, all the points not correctly lay on top of the surface of the object that you want to capture. So with that, the Mapper Plus, if you fly at 100 meter, we recommend to fly at 100 meter AGL. The Mapper Plus can give you 3 centimeters accuracy, and the precision is at 2.5 centimeter. For the Mapper, we recommend at 70 meter AGL, and you will get an accuracy of 3 centimeter, and the precision is at 2 centimeter. So here is the swap on the Mapper Plus to give you an idea at 10% reflectivity, right? Let's say if you fly at, we recommend on the Mapper Plus at 100 meter AGL. So you will get 140 meter swap, yeah? So let's say if you're going to fly at 70 meter AGL, you will get 100 meter swap. So meaning to say that if you want to fly higher than 100 recommended spec, please be prepared. You will get a pretty, the data quality may not be, good, right? So you can see there's a red zone here. The slant angle is reached and it's deteriorate. Your data quality is not going to be good. For the point density, I'd like to give you an idea of what you would get on the point density from the Mapper Plus. So let's say that if you're going to fly at 100 meters AGL, but you are flying at 10 meters per second, which is the orange lines representing, you will get approximately 175 points square meter, yeah? And let's say you're going to fly slower at 5 meters per second, you may get a bit more than 325 points per square meter, right? So the slower you fly, the lower you fly, you get a lot more point density. But if you're going to fly at 20 meters per second at a higher speed, then you will get lesser and lesser point density. So that's how it works. With that, for the productivity, you will see that for the flight parameters here on the M300, the flying height, let's say at 100 meter AGL, flying speed 10 meters per second, flying line spacing 100 meter, and 25% overlap between streaks. You will get the flight duration on the M300 for 30 minutes. So what is the resulting data you will get? It will be 175 points per square meter without overlap. Yeah, this is just an idea of the benchmark for you to know how much data you will get. So it will cover 170 hectares. Yeah, so there's a diagram here, a graph here to show you. Let's say you're going to fly at 20 minutes. Let's say fly for about 20 minutes. You get around 1 square kilometer. Yeah, and you're going to fly the longer, like with the M300, I believe it lasts for 30 minutes maximum with the payload of the Mapper Plus. And here is just a photo to show you how the Mapper Plus on using the M300 Skyport. Having said that, again, you can use the quick mount or QMC connection for any other drones that is supported. It comes with the Mapper Plus come with the camera module at 20 megapixels. And it has the live station as well. So what live station is, let me just elaborate this a bit. It allows you to monitor your point cloud data live. Yeah, so it's using the radio modem. You can have a radio modem on your UAV. You install the radio modem on any of your UAV drones, and there's another radio modem on the ground, and you make it will be connected and monitor your point cloud data live. So you can view your point cloud data whilst you are collecting the data on site. And YellowScan have we have built this live station make available for the Mapper and the Mapper Plus. With about the Mapper, just give you an idea of, I know some people would like to know that what's the difference between the Mapper and the Mapper Plus then. All right, so the Mapper is using the Livox Horizon scanner. Again, it's the same. It's using APX15 IMU for Planix, and it's 1.5 kilograms, including the battery. Yeah, excluding the battery, it's 1.3 kilograms. And again, you have multiple options. You can use the Skyport if you have the M210, 200, or 300, or you can use the GRIMC if you have any other UAV drone supports the GRIMC connection, or the quick mount, yeah, for the M300 or M600. Here is a photo just to show you how the Mapper, the size of the Mapper, an idea of the size of the Mapper is very compact, 14 by 14. The length, height, and the width is 9.5, and the Skyport or the GRIMC on top. And it comes with every single unit, whether it's the Mapper Plus or the Mapper, come with 2 batteries. Having said that, the batteries are portable, and if you need to buy more batteries, you may order directly from either from YellowScan or from Sphere Drones, or you can even buy locally in battery walls here in Australia. So it's not a restricted, battery that you can not buy easily outside. And the scanner, again, is facing down, the horizon scanner down the bottom of the Mapper. Here is just a photo for your, get an idea of how the camera module looks like. So this is the Mapper camera module. With the Mapper Plus, it will be pretty much similar too. Yeah, you can attach the camera module. It's an option for you. And normally we have customer want to do colorized point cloud. Then yeah, they say we must need a camera. Yes, then you can have the Mapper camera module or the Mapper Plus camera module attached to it. With the packaging, just to give you an idea of how it looks, it will come with the backpack, how the photo shows you here. So you can see there's a compartment for the camera module as well. If you have, sometimes some of our clients, they don't need the camera module. So yeah, so you see there's a compartment, it's empty there. And you can have storage, lots of storages, and there's a computer bag at the, you can put it in put your laptop there as well. Yeah, just the overview of the casing, and it's very easily for you to move around as a backpack for you to do any survey jobs or any other, project works and move around. You can even carry on the airplane and moving from city to city, which the battery is definitely not a problem. I've done that myself from Melbourne to Sydney or Brisbane, so there wasn't any restrictions at all regarding the battery.
It's a really nice hard case, that one too, actually, just to chime in there, Teresa. Just to
yeah, that's right. It is, and it's very lightweight as well. Okay, here's the photo to show you the map, how it looks like for the Mapper on M300. This is using the Skyport, M300 Skyport. And the camera module, as I mentioned previously, you can see there's a camera module compartment here. Without the camera module, we have a cover. Yeah, so we have a camera module. You will see the camera module attached to this portion here. And the camera spec, we are using the Sony APS-C Side X-More 20.1 megapixel sensor. So it will be the same for the Mapper Plus as well. And it's a very easy integration on the Mapper or the Mapper Plus. It's fully automatic operation, meaning you can just fly all in one flight, and the LiDAR point cloud together with the camera will capture simultaneously on a USB stick or the memory card, yeah, for the images. So you can just download easily onto your computer. You just pull out your USB stick and then process your data that way. With the Mapper, again, the positioning statement, the same as for the Mapper Plus, it's a purely aerial LiDAR sensor, having a recommended height, the flying height of 70-meter AGL for the Mapper. And the Mapper Plus is at 100-meter AGL, yeah? So these two products, I must say, is very great. It's a great value for money. Can be delivered to a very good quality LiDAR point cloud that will meet your survey grade projects. Yeah, instead of a high, very poor accuracy data. But with the Mapper or the Mapper Plus, definitely can deliver the good quality data to you. With the applications, again, you can use from any general topography uses or archaeology, forestry, terrain slides. Having said that, even with the Mapper Plus, if you have any railway projects, mining projects, or utility power lines, it's all fully supported. Yeah, especially on the Mapper Plus. You can, since you can fly at 100 meters AGL. Yeah, with the Mapper, again, just give you an idea of the benchmark. At 70-meter AGL, 10 meters per second, 85 meters line spacing, 121 meters walk. You can cover 10 hectares in 4 minutes. Yeah. So this is an idea for you to just how much data I can get. If I'm going to fly at 20 minutes or 30 minutes on the Mapper or the Mapper Plus. Okay. So last but not the least here, with the YellowScan software, we do deliver perpetual or perpetual license or the annual subscription license. Yeah, so with the perpetual license, you only need to pay a one-off license fee. Yeah, and the first year maintenance is included in the price. A yearly fee for maintenance is allow you to get unlimited support and updates. Yeah, so we YellowScan very frequently release our new fixes, new updates. So maybe I cannot count, I lost count now. Every year we release so many updates, and but then having said that, it's not mandatory, but it's recommended if for the additional maintenance that you want to buy, because for the perpetual license, it's only the first year is included. And after the end of the first year, if you don't have your maintenance expired, then yeah, there's no more updates, no more supports unless you extend your maintenance. For the annual subscription, you only need to pay a yearly license fee. So once the license expires, you have to renew. Otherwise, you won't be able to access Cloud Station or any other add-on modules, yeah, like street adjustment, terrain module, colorization module, so on and so forth. Having said that, it will allow you, once the license expires, you can buy another, like, because it's an annual subscription, it will allow you to have another, you can subscribe for the next year, and then you will continuously really receiving unlimited support and updates again. So how this is the difference between the perpetual license and the annual subscription here for the YellowScan softwares. Okay, so with that, I will pass the floor, or please feel free to ask any questions. Yeah, that's the end of my presentation. Thanks, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Teresa. Bear with me for 1 second, and I'll just switch the screen over. Give me 1 sec. All right. So thanks again for that one, Teresa. So I guess in terms of questions, I guess I did just want to touch on one point really quickly. I think that there might have been a bit of confusion around the battery situation with the LiDAR unit. So just to clarify, the batteries that are included with the YellowScan Mapper and Mapper Plus, they are safe to be taken on a plane, but you can only take batteries in your carry-on baggage here in Australia. So, but always
Yeah,
double check with your airline, of course. So.
correct.
I've got one here that says, is it compatible with the CSM on the M300? So that's a good one. Thank you, Peter. I'm not sure if that, is that a question that you would have an answer to there, Pierre? The CSM is the radar on top of oh, sorry, I've got Pierre muted. Give me 1 second. So I've just unmuted my colleagues, so they should be able to join us now, Pierre and Josh, just in case. Yes.
Yep. Can you hear me now?
Perfect.
Yep.
Thanks, Pierre. Yeah. So the CSM radar is the obstacle detection device for the Matrice 300. Have you seen that one, Pierre?
We fly the M300 here on a routine basis. Sure. So we've been using it. The radar on its own, I guess, is an additional equipment that you fit on top of the M300. The only issue I would see with this additional equipment would be the fact that we integrate our antenna, so the LiDAR antenna would fit right at the sort of front top edge of the M300. So I guess there would be a bit of a room
Of course, yeah.
issue there.
Obstruction,
yeah. Slightly, and the fact that the radar could mask the actual visibility of our antenna would be a bit of an issue. So I guess this is not a complete problem, because I guess we could integrate the antenna at the back of that radar unit. So to me, it's not a sort of a complete blockage. So I guess we could fit, but it would need a bit of a slight modification on our side in terms of how we position our antenna, Genesis antenna for the LiDAR.
Gotcha. Thanks for that. We've got a question here around the number of returns on the Mapper Plus and which returns are recorded. So is it the first and strongest? Thanks for that one, Glenn.
Okay. So I know the Horizon had just like the VLPs from Velodyne's had 2 echoes, the strongest and first and strongest, and this Avia has come up with sort of a 3rd echo from their sort of detection algorithm, and basically what you do is that you get to record just like the VLP, so a first and strongest, but instead of recording just a single strongest, you record at least two of the strongest echoes that you get from the complete wave, and this allows you to penetrate a bit more inside vegetation. Mind you that there's still a 1 meter blind zone between echoes, so you can't detect things that are not 1 meter away in terms of separation. So in terms of the implications in the vegetation is that you might get 3 echoes inside vegetation, so you will get more details in sort of in the structure of the vegetation itself, especially if you have tall trees. If you still have bushes which are some meters tall, that might not work that much. But in terms of tall trees, I guess this would take some advantage to have at least those 3 echoes. Really the 3 echoes is something that you would start to pick up in quite dense vegetation, really. So that's one of the other advantage of having the Avia, is that you have that this sort of additional echo that allows you to go a little bit further inside the vegetation.
Awesome. Thanks so much for explaining that one, Pierre.
No
I've
worries.
got a couple here that I think I can answer off the bat. So one was around the Sony camera being used. Is it used purely for colorization? So it is used to colorize the point cloud, but you can also, depending on the flight pattern that you choose, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Teresa or Pierre, but you can use the camera module if you wanted to collect orthomosaic imagery for orthomosaic purposes as well. Then that is an option. I guess you'd just see, instead of using a 25% overlap, you'd fly with a much higher overlap, similar to how you normally would with photogrammetry, if that makes sense. Here's one for the YellowScan team.
Oh,
sorry, yeah, please jump in. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that the camera is completely integrated inside the box, and it's completely synchronized with the IMU. So whichever shot is triggered by the camera is recorded by the IMU, and you can extract exterior orientation parameters, which is position and orientation of the camera recorded by the IMU. So you have this high-grade IMU that records continuously the sort of flow of information of position and orientation, and you apply this sort of high-grade information to the camera. So you actually, when you start off your aerial triangulation process, you're already at centimeter levels in terms of the position. And this has the implication of speeding up the aerial triangulation process within your third-party software that allows you to generate the orthophoto. For decolorization, you don't even need to extract those exterior orientation parameters. You can just basically have the camera trigger times, and this is all done inside the Cloud Station software when you have the colorization module. So it's all built in. You just need to basically indicate the folder of the images, and it does the rest. So that's the difference.
Excellent extra information. Thanks for that, Pierre. So we've got a question here around whether it's compatible with a second payload on the M300. So I guess one of the things I'd be mindful of if you were using an M300, I guess aside from the mounting considerations, there is the, I guess you have to factor in the field of view, but there is also the weight consideration. So if you've got the YellowScan Mapper Plus, that's 1.3 kilos plus around, is it 300 grams for the camera module team? So I guess you'd be looking at around, yeah. So you'd be looking at about 1.6, 1.7 kilos as a ballpark. So you'd have potentially up to a kilo left as a ballpark. But have you guys done any testing from the YellowScan team on the use of the Mapper or Mapper Plus with multiple payloads, either on the M300 or on other aircraft?
Well, we don't really have other payload in terms of like something that
perhaps
you would
like
put,
thermal camera,
on
for
top
example.
of the M300. We don't really have this type of payload, but just looking at the weight, yes, we're fitting bigger scanners underneath, like our Explorer can be fitted underneath the M300, and this is closer to 2.6
kilos. Yeah.
We're reaching the maximum payload, which is 2.7. So yes, definitely you would be able to fit something else in addition to the Mapper Plus and camera module, but we haven't done the test. But in terms of sort of where to fit something, I guess the best choice would be on top. But again, this would need to be sort of integrated in a way that it doesn't allows the field of view of the scanner, it allows the field of view of the other payload as well. So there's probably something to look at in terms of integration only.
The short answer, I guess, then is it may be possible, but I think we'll perhaps take that one offline, Peter. In terms of, so we've got the obstacle auto detection for forestry projects. So I don't think that there's any obstacle auto detection for forestry projects. I think that you would potentially have to rely on the obstacle detection that's built into the Matrice 300 or your third-party aircraft. Yeah, there's not
Correct.
any functionality built in at the moment.
No.
So someone's asked, can the unit be mounted similar to DJI L1 on the gimbal? So it certainly can. There's, oh, sorry, actually, I misread that question. That's a good question for you, actually, YellowScan team. So can you mount the YellowScan Mapper on a gimbal? Is that possible to be mounted on? So the Mapper Plus, for example, could you hypothetically stick it on something like a Gremsy or a Ronin, for example?
We have that sort of quick mount possible, so we allow with the Skypod and the Grimsby, but then it probably would depend on the gimbal itself. What we tend to recommend, the problem with the gimbal is that you would get some variation in the lever arms values because your antenna is locked on one position. The scanner would be moving around together with the gimbal, so that sort of biases our lever arms measurements. What we tend to recommend is to have those scanners mounted on at different angles. So we've tried different angles at 45 degrees or 90 degrees, so facing forward or facing oblique. So we for this purpose we've designed some orientable hooks, if you like, that fits on our mounting bracket. So in that case, you would measure the lever arms values from the scanner to the antenna, and these would be locked during the whole flight, and this would help having better results as well. Yep.
So I guess potentially the short answer to that one then is that you could potentially rig a fixed mounting mechanism that was not directly downwards if you wanted to do, say, like a facade scan or something like that, but you would just have to make sure that it was a fixed orientation and that you measured the lever arms. Is that correct, Pierre?
And we supply that. So Teresa had one of the first slide was a picture of a mounting bracket. This is the aluminum sort of mounting bracket that we fit at the front of the M300, and this can come with orientable hooks, so you can place the Mapper or Mapper Plus at nadir, facing 45 degrees or facing 90 degrees, so basically looking directly flat.
Awesome. And then awesome, that's a good one. And actually, just a quick note on that as well, team. So the mounting bracket for the Mapper and the Mapper Plus, and I think it actually is the universal mount for the YellowScan LiDAR units in general. It's actually a really nicely robust, really nicely designed, robust mounting mechanism that you can leave on the drone while it's in the case with the M300 as well, which is pretty neat. And then if you do want to mount the YellowScan like it is in the image at the moment, then you can do that. So just give me 1 second here. So I guess I'm just having a quick look here in terms of the RTK. There's a question here about RTK. So does the Mapper and Mapper Plus utilize the DJI RTK system, or does it need its own, or does it not use it at all? If it does not use RTK, how does it achieve 3 centimeters or better accuracy? So just to touch on that one really quickly, Jeremy. So at the moment, I don't believe that the DJI DRTK2 is supported as a base station for creating your point clouds, but it is something that I'm planning on doing a little bit of testing myself. So watch this space. We'll get back to you. But yeah, Pierre, I guess that it does require a base station, like a Rhinex file.
At the moment, we require that static recording additional to the flight. So simultaneous to the flight, you have that base station recording, which can be your own, which can be a national network, it can be maybe RTX if you have that subscription from Trimble as well. So any of those can be utilized to actually post-process the trajectory in PPK mode to achieve that centimeter accuracy you require for generating your point cloud.
Awesome. And look, I think that we'll have to make this one the last one today, guys, because we've gone over time a little bit. But the last question I've got here is, if vegetation is less than 1 meter high, say long grass, would ground be picked up by the second return? So that's a good one around the penetration of things like grass or other, I suppose broad acre crops.
So, well, that probably boils down to the blind zone that we were talking about early on. So you have 1 meter blind zone with the Avia, which means that you can't record anything that is not separated by less than 1 meter between echoes. So this means that if you want to record in the second echo the sort of ground, this might not be possible, but the laser beam is just like a sunlight. You'll get some all over the place, and some will might just hit the top of the grass. Some might hit the ground right off. So there's so much density on that sensor that you just can get lucky. That's what I mean. So
Cool.
even with even with the first echo, you might be able to actually get a return on the ground directly.
Yeah, cool. And I guess just a final comment is that one of the things that I have heard about the YellowScan product is that that you guys do try to be a little bit conservative and then exceed expectations as well. So I guess to an extent there's that side of things as well, where you've backed your product to a specific precision, accuracy, etc. But then that's not to say that that better accuracies and precisions hasn't been achieved as well. Teresa, was there anything else you wanted to add to the team? Or to the attendees before we sign off?
Yeah, if there are any unanswered questions earlier, you could collect that, and we can get back to everyone after this webinar. Yep, thanks.
Great minds. Yeah. Well, look, thank you so much to everyone for attending. If we haven't answered your question, apologies for running out of time today, but we did want to keep this one short and sharp. We'll shoot out a follow-up email off the back of the webinar. But if you've got any other questions, please feel free to shoot them through after the call, and yeah, keep in touch. And of course, if anyone wants to pick up a unit off the back of today, then just give us a shout. But thank you so much for tuning in today, gang, and we'll look forward to having in the next one. Keep an eye out, actually. That reminds me, we are planning on having another webinar in the next little while to have a look at some of the other YellowScan systems and some of the platforms that you can use to carry these systems. So, the ACE Core or FleetFly or whatever it is. So, yeah, watch this space.
Yeah,
thanks so much for tuning in, and thanks very much for the YellowScan team.
Yeah, thanks,
Elliot.
Elliot. Thanks,
everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Cheers. Yep. Bye.
Bye-bye.